Hey, welcome to codyTV. Cody here. Today I want to change things up a bit. Talk about Godzilla Minus One, the movie. Just moving this up a little further. What's interesting about the new Godzilla movie is that it's managed to do a lot better than most of the Hollywood movies that are out right now. And you kind of wonder, or you might wonder, how did it do that? Well, it's not that hard to figure out. Because, for one thing, everything in Hollywood right now has gone woke. Marvel's gone woke. Disney has gone woke. Um, DC is obviously woke. And they're not generating the kind of sales that they probably hoped for. And it just seems like, I don't know, it just seems like Disney is deliberately destroying everything, along with Star Wars. Um, Kathleen Kennedy, Bob Iger, um, these are the people like this, and people like Rachel Zegler that really need to go, because this whole woke culture thing is not doing anybody any favors. It's like the transgender movement. These people are trying to demonize our kids, basically, because of some idiotology that only they want, and they're trying to push off onto everybody else. Now that's going to make a lot of people mad, but unfortunately, it's the truth. But anyway, let's get back to Godzilla. I think there are a number of reasons why Godzilla Minus One is doing so much better than any Hollywood movies right now. Because, for one thing, it is completely Japanese. Excuse me. It's completely Japanese. The cast is Japanese. Everybody that's in the film is Japanese, and I think that's kind of appropriate. I mean, we've done American versions of Godzilla for a long time and everything, and that's all right. But I think this is the first time that we've seen Godzilla done the way it should have been done, as a monster movie. Because let's remember one thing: Godzilla is a monster. I mean, come on. That thing is the size of a large mountain. And he goes if he goes on a rampage, he's not going to care who or what he steps on, assuming it is a he. For all we know, Godzilla could be asexual or could be both combined. Who knows? Really have no idea. But which leads to another thing. Godzilla Minus One also, this one has a story behind it, which in recent years a story is something that has been sorely lacking from the most recent movies. Um, and not only does it have a story, it's got a great story, because the story The story in this one focuses on World War II, the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan. For anybody out there who doesn't know, but the story picks up after that. As a matter of fact, it's even hinted that the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki might have contributed to Godzilla's size, to its getting bigger and more powerful. There are also the nuclear testings or atomic testings on the island of Bikini Atoll, where we can visibly see Godzilla being, and quite possibly being, exposed. But I shouldn't really be talking about this. The thing is, this Godzilla takes place during the last days of World War II, and, well, maybe I shouldn't have said that because that's not accurate. But Japan, at the time that the movie takes place, Japan has been bombed by the United States during World War II, and they are desperately rebuilding. And I looked up Minus One, Godzilla Minus One. A lot of people have wondered, what is that supposed to mean? So I looked it up, and actually, Minus One refers to the fact that Japan, after having been bombed by the U.S. in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan is in a state where they cannot sink any lower. They have been devastated by the 2 atomic bombs, and they can only go up. They can only hope to go up, because those two cities have been absolutely wiped off the map. So that's, for some reason, that's where Minus One comes in, because they are at the lowest they can possibly go. They can't go any lower. So about 2 years after World War II is over is where the story for Godzilla Minus One really starts. And it's only been 2 years in this movie. So Japan is desperately trying to rebuild, not just Hiroshima, which they are desperately trying to build, but they're also trying to build Nagasaki. And they would spend a long time doing that, rebuilding. And that's really where the story comes in. I think what's really interesting about this movie is the fact that Godzilla in this, if you take a good long look at it, Godzilla is only one part of the movie. Just one part. I mean, it's a big ass part. Yes, okay, that's very true. But the rest of the movie is about Japan coming together. It's people coming together under the worst circumstances ever for them, and desperately working to rebuild and make lives for themselves, make productive lives for themselves. I mean, you're seeing them having to deal with everyday circumstances that have been thrust in their faces, and they're having to take the worst conditions imaginable and trying to see the good, and trying to rebuild all the good things that they had and tried to have them again. That is the rest of the story in Godzilla Minus One. And I think it's a great part of the story because it really shows how much determination they had in the story, that they would come together like this, not just as people, but as a determined people, a people that are determined to live no matter what, determined to survive no matter what. Sounds a lot like cancer, but I'm not talking about that right now. So yeah, let's skip that part. But I think my Godzilla Minus One is a really great movie. It was all for for Godzilla's scenes, doing what he's always been known to do. There's a lot of fun in that. Okay, yeah, sure there is. There is a lot of fun in that. But when you bring in the others, when you bring in the rest of the movie and the other people that are involved, all the characters, everybody that's scattered and then been forced to gather to fight Godzilla, it's a terrific story. And you really get a lot out of it too. You see families, or what's left of families, coming together. You see total strangers coming together and becoming families. And everybody's struggling to try to have a normal life again, their own version of the new normal for them. And I think it makes a really great story. I think that's I think that's why Godzilla Minus One just did a great job of outclassing every other Hollywood movie that's out right now. Uh, there is one small catch, though. There is a small catch, and don't worry, this isn't ruining anything. But the entire movie is in Japanese, and it has English subtitles. Now, if you're not used to reading closed captions or subtitles in a foreign film, this may not be necessarily for you. But if you want to be able to see a great movie, and this is a great movie, and be able to really appreciate it, you might want to take a chance with it. You know, just get used to reading every word of dialogue in subtitles along the bottom of the screen. You know, you'll have to get used to that. But I've been reading closed captions for years now, um, because of tinnitus in my ears. So it's not that it's not that preposterous an idea for me. But if you don't like having to do that, then hey, I can't help you. But see what you think about it. If you want to go see it, if you do, that's great. If you don't, okay, that's okay too. There's plenty of other stuff out there to see if you want to. Nobody's going to make you. But it is a great monster movie, and we haven't had a really great monster movie in years. I'm not trying to put down Godzilla X Kong. I mean, I'm not trying to put that down. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure it's a good movie too. It's just that Godzilla Minus One seems really unique in the way that it's been done, and the way that the studio that produced it really went all out. I mean, historically, if you want to look at it, you're looking at circumstances in Japan at that time where they had nothing left, you know, and the fact that they had to hold on to whatever it was they did have left and still try to fight and try to rebuild, and rebuilding is a fight, you know. Rebuilding is a fight altogether, because they had to get together whatever they could find, so a lot of respect goes out. A lot of respect goes out to the people who made the film. And I know it's not exactly popular with Hollywood right now. Godzilla isn't. Perhaps not this movie because Hollywood has gone woke and everything else, and it's gone. I'm looking. I'm looking to see if Hollywood will actually shut down someday with the way all of that's going. It probably never will. It'll probably be like Keith Richards and Five Cockroaches. The only thing that would be able to end Hollywood would be being nuked. And that might not even work. They might want to try to make a movie out of something as stupid as that. I don't know. But anyway, if you want to go see Godzilla Minus One, it is a great movie, great story, and really great actors. Uh, I can't I can't think of a single actor or actress in Godzilla Minus One that does not outclass a number of Hollywood movie stars that are out today. I mean, these guys they're throwing everything into it. Every emotion, everything they can do, all of it. And they do a wonderful job, every one of them, to make this movie and to give great performances. And they do a fantastic job of it. So honestly, you should check it out. I think, you know, you should check it out. Give it a chance. And if you're into old school monster movies, like I am, but you want something new and something that is unique and can set itself apart from the regular humdrum bash bash, you know, oh gee, there's a big monster coming after us. If you want something different from all that, then Godzilla Minus One is your ticket. It is definitely something that you want to check out. Okay? All right. Uh, I only had one problem with the credits. All of the credits in the movie were in Japanese, so I couldn't read one thing that the credits said. I don't read Japanese. I couldn't read Japanese. Um, through an extensive period of education, maybe I could, but to just throw it in my face, and me not knowing how to read Japanese to begin with, forget it. I'm not going to understand anything. So that is the only drawback to it. But with all that being said, um, it's a great movie if you want to see it. And if you don't, there's plenty of other stuff to watch. If you want to continue to watch Disney go down the drain, that is certainly an option. Or Star Wars or Marvel, as badly as those guys are doing right now, it's optional too. So, I don't know if I care anymore. Although that's not what it's going to sound like in the next video. when you get to watch that. I still have to edit that one. You got to try to edit that down. My tongue isn't working. Okay, I'm Cody. This is codyTV, and I'm out of here for now. And I hope everybody has a great day and a great new year. So, all right, bye. Dude.